Hello, a very quick tour of our 4th of October granary sale, which is on view this weekend. We're just currently setting up for it now. There's absolutely masses in this sale. We have nearly 1,000 lots of small collectible items before we even get to the furniture. So I think in all there's going to be around 1,500 lots in this week's sale. So I think we've crammed in more than we've ever crammed in here before. It's all being photographed at the moment, and by the time you see this video it'll all be online as well to browse through. But just to give you a quick tour along the tables and sort of show you some of the things that jump out to me. And I was just looking at this just now actually. I like this lot. This is an original William Hogarth engraving. So he did caricature studies in the 18th century, and this is an original engraving by him. It was published in 1736 and it's the Company of Undertakers. So they're just caricature studies of strange undertakers. I don't know what's going on here, but the urinal he's dipping his finger in, and with it, so this is a group lot, so it just shows the sort of interesting groups that you get in these sales. So these papers all go with it as well, and there's things like a copy of the London Gazette from 1679. Look at that, it's a 350-year-old newspaper. This is the Politic Ledger, 1774, the daily political and commercial paper, influenced by none. No fake news then. This is a copy of the Times, 3rd of October 1798, but this one, actually I was just looking earlier, it does say at the bottom that it's republished in 1862, so it's printed a bit later than that. So obviously a commemorative reprint, because this one commemorates Nelson's victory over the French fleet in the mouth of the Nile. That's part of that. There's a document here which is handwritten document on vellum. So this is animal skin, and it's all handwritten. Look at that, 1697. So that's an interesting thing as well. And all these items are all one lot with that Hogarth engraving as well. So it just shows some really fascinating things that turn up in these general sales. These. So that is a genuine old tallware, they call this, a sort of painted tin, they call that tallware, and it's a tea canister. So this is a proper one that would have been in a tea shop, and this is number 14, so there would have been lots of blends of tea available if you went into a tea merchant. And it's fairly worn condition, but it's a genuine early tea canister, and actually it's half full of tea as well. It smells fantastic actually. Can't be the original tea. This is fascinating as well. I haven't seen quite such an ornate truncheon before. It's dated 1839. It's VR, Victoria. And sometimes these are called tipstaffs when they're ceremonial sticks for someone to just hold in ceremony, or it could be a policeman's truncheon, but most likely a ceremonial tipstaff, I would have thought that one. Some nice swords this time actually. This is probably a German or Austrian hunting sword, and it'll be probably late 19th century I should think. There's some traces of some engraving on the blade there as well, and a stag's antler handle as well. That's a nice thing. I've seen a few good swords this time, and commando knives and all sorts in this sale. And there's a bayonet from the First War period. I think that's French, that one, French bayonet. Lots of interesting things on here as well. Really good quality, very modern mahogany mantle clock as well, with a very good quality brass mechanism inside. It's a reproduction, but that would cost you many hundreds of pounds if you wanted to buy that from a clock retailer. At auction it's probably going to make 100 to 150 pounds. Some nice old tea caddies. Look at that. Ultimate man cave decor there. It's a set of optics, all nice antique brass bar top optics there with Booth's gin. That's a fantastic thing, isn't it? There's the obligatory health set here for electrotherapy. Never noticed them with the logo in here. He doesn't look very happy about being approached with this electrotherapy device, does he? That's quite an interesting thing. Let's just carry on here and have a look around at some of this furniture. Some old clocks on the wall here. This is a nice one. Isn't that nice little, that's retailed in Cork in Ireland. But that's good looking. Call these. So this type here with a carved case under the main dial. They call these drop dial wall clocks, and where it's just a dial, they call it a dial wall clock. So that one you would call a dial wall clock, and there's a drop dial, and this one's drop dial as well. And we'll have a look around here, down the front row, and actually, fantastic quality. It's a top quality Victorian chaise longue here. It's walnut framed. It'll be 1870, 1880, something like that, but look at the carving on the showwood surround there. Really elaborate shape. And the upholstery is in good condition, and it's probably worth about £300 or £400, something like that. But what sort of sofa could you buy new for that? Massive. There's so much furniture in this sale. We'll just keep wandering down here, and I'll point out a few other things as we come across them. These are nice things. So this is probably a 19th century fold-over table, but in satin wood and mahogany with marquetry inlay. It's a good, nice piece of furniture, and it's in good condition as well. Probably worth a couple of hundred or so. And that's an 18th century chest on stand. These are all things that, until quite recently, we would have put all these things into our main antique sale, really. But this is really where people come now to buy antique and modern furniture. So this is consequently where we bring nearly all the furniture we have to sell that we collect. Some of this is just reproduction. Like this is a very good quality reproduction. They call these credence tables. So it's a fold over top. So short on space, you actually have to put things like that on top of other pieces. So we've got a couple of canteens of cutlery here. They're always popular things to sell. And that's fairly complete. There's a few gaps in there. Another nice one under there. That is complete. So that's a good canteen of cutlery there. What else have we got? Military helmets. All sorts coming down here. Little Georgian desk under here. George III mahogany kneehole desk. And that's quite smart. Little garden feature. I suppose it would have been for a tennis court or something for the spectators. Good little thing for your garden. That's the furniture. I just wanted to show you down here. We've got in this sale we've got a collection of chemists' bottles and jars and fittings that all were originally in Emelaus Pharmacy in Battle High Street. So the Emelaus Pharmacy has operated for generations and only closed fairly recently, still run by the same family, and all these bottles were in use there. So there's loads of stuff, loads of these poison bottles, nice blue jars here, that's a nice thing, and a huge pestle and mortar there, grinding pills. Massive in here, so these will be selling these by the boxful, I should think, or maybe 2 or 3 boxes at a time. And I think there's several sets of chemist drawers in this sale as well. If we just have a look down the back row here, Will, in this maze of furniture here, it's just, you can see how it's piled high everywhere. You really have to, you can't look down in here, you have to keep looking up, and then you won't miss all these things that are perched on the top. 18th century blanket chests and things like that. And we've got for this. This is a proper 19th century set of chemist's drawers. Obviously was a part of a shop fitting, because you can see where it's been cut at the ends. But they're the original drawers, and actually when we just get the drawers without the carcass, they're worth a decent amount of money. And again, these are all fittings that could be converted and cleaned up and used in kitchen fittings. And a massive dresser base underneath there, Victorian pine dresser base. That would make a good kitchen unit. That was cleaned and restored. So there's masses of furniture, lots of garden pots and ornaments this time as well. And upstairs we've got a huge amount of furniture up there as well, as usual. So the sale is online now, and it's viewing on Saturday morning from 9 till 1, on Monday from 9 till 5, Tuesday from 9 till 7, and on the morning of the sale. And as usual, now we start at 9 in the morning. So the sale starts at 9, so we're open from 8 and it'll go on all day. Thank you very much.